What if every argument you have leaves you more confused than when you started? What if you find yourself constantly apologizing for things you didn't do, or defending feelings you know are valid? You start saving screenshots of conversations. You replay interactions in your head for hours. You secretly wonder, am I going crazy? You're not. You're not crazy. You're not oversensitive. You are likely the target of a psychological manipulation technique so effective it's used by intelligence agencies, narcissists, and toxic partners. It's called gaslighting. And today, we are exposing the entire playbook. Gaslighting isn't just lying. It's a systematic process to make you doubt your own perception of reality. Until you no longer trust your own mind, you become easier to control. Let me give you an example you might recognize. You see a charge on your shared account from a fancy restaurant. You ask your partner, "Hey, who did you go to dinner with last Friday?" They don't even look up. They say, "What are you talking about? I was home all night. You're always making things up." You pull up the bank statement, and suddenly you feel guilty for accusing them. That moment of self-doubt, that's the weapon. And here's exactly how it works. To understand gaslighting, you have to see it's not just random lies. It's a calculated strategy. Think of it as a playbook, a set of coordinated moves designed to dismantle your reality. We've identified 5 core techniques that are the pillars of this destructive game. They are often used in concert, weaving a web so complex you don't realize you're trapped. Let's break down this playbook, starting with the most foundational technique. The first technique is counterfactual denial. This is where the gaslighter flatly denies something happened, even with irrefutable proof. You could have a text message and they will look you in the eye and say, "That never happened. You're making that up." Their confidence is staggering, and it exploits our need for a shared reality. When a trusted person confidently contradicts clear evidence, it creates intense cognitive dissonance. Our brain scrambles thinking, "Why would they lie so boldly? Maybe I'm mistaken." They are banking on their confidence overriding your evidence. The goal is to establish a precedent, that your perception is less reliable than their word. This erodes your trust in your own senses. The second technique is emotional invalidation. If denial attacks facts, this attacks your feelings. After they do something hurtful and you react, they turn the tables. They don't address their behavior. They critique your reaction. You'll hear, "You're being too sensitive," "You're overreacting," or "It was just a joke." They might even call you crazy. This is effective because it reframes their bad behavior as your emotional deficiency. The problem is no longer what they did, but how you felt. This severs the healthy connection between an event and your emotional response. You learn that expressing your hurt is pointless and will lead to punishment, like ridicule or more accusations. So you start to suppress those feelings, wondering if your emotions are ever valid. The third technique is memory manipulation. This is more sophisticated than denial. Here they don't just erase the past, they actively rewrite it. They'll confidently state a new version of events, saying things like, "No, don't you remember? You were the one who insisted we go," or "We already discussed this, you agreed." They say it with such conviction that you doubt your own recollection. This leverages the misinformation effect, where our memories can be altered by misleading information. Human memory is not a perfect recording, it's reconstructive. Gaslighters exploit this vulnerability. They plant false memories to make you dependent on their version of the truth, turning them into the sole archivist of your shared life. The fourth technique is strategic isolation. A gaslighter can't maintain their distorted reality if you have outside support, so they work to cut you off. This often starts subtly, with comments like, "Your friends are a bad influence," or "Your family is causing problems." They might create drama before you see loved ones, making the experience so stressful you start avoiding it. They position themselves as your sole protector. "I'm the only one who truly understands you." They systematically drive wedges between you and your support network. Why? Because your friends and family are your reality checks. They're the ones who will say, "That's not normal." By cutting them off, the gaslighter eliminates dissenting voices. Isolation is the gaslighter's firewall, creating an echo chamber where their voice is the only one you hear. Finally, the fifth technique that ties it all together: incremental escalation. This is the principle that makes the system work. No master manipulator starts with an outrageous lie. They start small, testing your boundaries. They might show up late and insist it was your fault. If you accept that small distortion, they've learned your boundary is flexible. Next, it's forgetting your anniversary and convincing you that you both agreed not to celebrate. Each time you concede, you're recalibrating your sense of normal. This is the frog in boiling water analogy. The abuse doesn't start at a boiling point. The temperature increases degree by degree. Each incident is just slightly worse than the last. You rationalize it, you adapt. But over time, these escalations lead you to a place of profound confusion, a situation that would have been shocking at the beginning. You don't realize how bad it's gotten until you're already cooked. Recognizing the tactics of a gaslighter is a critical first step, but knowledge alone won't shield you from the psychological fallout. To truly fight back, you need to move from passive awareness to active defense. This is where you stop being a victim of their reality and start becoming the architect of your own. It's time to build your psychological armor, piece by piece. First, trust the echo. Gaslighting works by systematically teaching you to distrust your own perceptions. That persistent feeling of confusion, the knot of anxiety in your stomach, the constant need to apologize, that isn't you being too sensitive. That is the echo of manipulation. It's your mind and body's alarm system screaming that the emotional landscape is unsafe. Do not dismiss it. Your feelings are valid data points. Trust that signal because your intuition is the one voice the gaslighter can't silence, only try to make you ignore. Second, document the receipts. You might feel this is petty or vindictive, but that feeling is often a product of the gaslighting itself. This isn't about building a case against them, it's about building a case for your own sanity. Keep a private journal, a note on your phone, or save screenshots of texts. Note the date, the time, what was said, and most importantly, how it made you feel. A gaslighter's greatest weapon is your self-doubt. When they inevitably say, "I never said that," or "you're remembering it wrong," you won't have to rely on a memory they've deliberately tried to corrupt. You can check your own records. This is your personal, undeniable reality check. Third, reality test with a safe person. Isolation is the soil in which gaslighting thrives. You must break it. Reach out to a trusted friend, a family member, or a therapist, someone outside the manipulator's sphere of influence. You don't need to give a dramatic expose. Simply say, "Hey, can I run something by you? I need an outside perspective on a conversation I had." When a healthy person hears an unhealthy dynamic, their reaction of shock, concern, or validation is a powerful antidote. It recalibrates your sense of normal and pierces the bubble of isolation. Finally, set and enforce boundaries. This is where you take your power back. The goal is not to win the argument, it's to end it. Calmly and firmly state your position. "My memory of that event is different, and I'm not going to argue about it." Or, "I don't accept being spoken to that way. This conversation is over." Setting the boundary is the warning shot. Enforcing it is the action. If the behavior continues, you enforce the boundary by removing yourself. Leave the room, end the call, walk away. You must understand this critical truth. You cannot reason with a person who is committed to denying your reality. Their goal isn't mutual understanding, it's control. Engaging in their debate is a losing game, so refuse to play. Your power lies not in convincing them, but in protecting yourself. Recognizing these patterns is the first crucial step toward reclaiming your reality. But understanding is only half the battle. Taking action is where your power truly lies. If what we've discussed today has struck a chord, I need you to do two simple but powerful things for yourself right now. First, join our community of truth seekers by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. This video was just the beginning. In our next deep dive, we're handing you the playbook, the exact word-for-word phrases that disarm a gaslighter instantly. We'll also explore the practical, step-by-step journey of healing from this insidious form of psychological abuse. It's the essential next chapter in your journey. and you don't want to miss it. Second, and this is incredibly important, go to the comment section below. Your voice matters. If you feel comfortable, share which gaslighting technique you recognized most. Or simply typing, "I see it now," is a powerful act of self-validation. Your story could be the one that makes someone else realize they aren't crazy and they aren't alone, breaking the isolation that gaslighting depends on. Remember this above all else. Your reality is valid. Your feelings are legitimate. Your mind is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. And it has been trying to tell you the truth. The journey to reclaim your narrative starts with one defiant thought. I trust myself. Hold on to that. Nurture it. That is how you take your power back. Thank you for your courage. I'll see you in the next video.